We'll call the meeting to order.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve minutes from previous meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All ayes, motion carries. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I talked to the county engineer this morning, and he wants to set a date for a public hearing for vacating a road. And he'll bring that information when he comes today.
But that can be part of the engineer's business, or do you need that?
Well, he wanted to amend the agenda. So.
Okay. I'll amend the agenda to include a discussion and possible setting hearing date for the abandonment of a road.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to amend the agenda to include the hearing of a road closure. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All ayes, motion carries.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to amend, or approve the amended agenda. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All ayes, motion carries.
Jim, what is the 1015?
This lady wants to come and talk to the board about contacting the county employees on a cancer insurance policy, similar to our Aflac and some of that other stuff.
Didn't we give a company permission to do that 2 years ago?
I think so. I think we're.
Is this a different company? What do you think?
I mean, I guess I'm not opposed to giving a couple options, but I guess you don't need a lot of them either.
The problem that we run into is we run out of room on our payroll record.
Payroll.
We don't have enough room for all those deductions on our payroll software. And I don't know how full it is right now, but I thought we could at least listen to her today and make a decision later when she's done.
That's fine. You indicated that Ron was coming earlier today.
10:30. So, I don't think Sherry Wilson's building permit will take long.
We've got claims too.
Jim, we got reservations at the Embassy Suites in the Marriott.
You and Renell are at the Embassy Suites.
You got 3 nights?
I changed it to 2, Wednesday and Thursday. That was the message I got 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's fine for me.
Do you want to go down Tuesday night?
I was thinking about Tuesday, Wednesday now.
Oh, instead of Thursday?
Yeah.
I can call and see
I
if
gotta get back Thursday. If you can, change it
Let
again.
me see if I can do that.
God, they spend a lot of money on advertising on TV.
Oh boy. And the radio as well.
And internet.
They ought to
Things pop
pass a
up
law
on.
and limit it to, based on population of the state. Like the senatorial race.
Time-wise and money-wise.
And then,
They've already started campaigning for president, 2016.
give that money, spend it on education or the television station.
Give it to the local.
Most of that comes out of special interest groups anyhow, so
Sure.
you're not going to be able to regulate their right to say whatever they want to say. I mean, the candidates I'd love to see how much the candidates actually spend, compared to what the special interest.
And you're hearing those 90, it seems to me that a very high percentage of those are either national, the national political groups
Right.
or special interests, because you very seldom see paid by the candidate. Maybe I'm missing those, but most of them aren't.
Well, they're not actually campaigning for the candidates anymore. There's a technicality where they're issue campaigning. And just indicating which candidate stands for that issue. Money is speech.
But even we're seeing like Senate majority things, we're seeing Democratic and Republican groups both identifying themselves, and then you'll see all sorts of other paid for things.
Well, our local groups didn't spend any money, Republicans or Democrats.
Yeah.
What's the best website to watch tonight for? Is there
For
a,
Iowa results.
for results?
National results.
I would say
KCRG would be
any
the
of your Des
fastest.
Moines stations would probably, like
KCCI.
UHO TV or KCCI.
Do you think those would be?
KCCI would probably be the fastest for national.
Everything gets reported to the state,
True.
and where's Des Moines? Des Moines is the state.
Yeah.
For any local stuff, it'll either be me or KCIM. Probably I'll be easy by a few seconds on Twitter. You put out a blast, an email blast?
Not on this, we don't have a contested race in Sac County, and however, I can tell you right now that Sac County's gonna vote for Joni Ernst. So, I'm,
The three biggest had Ernst with a 70% chance of election. Reuters and New York, or
I don't know how the hell they know that.
I don't either.
Well, sure we
You
should
know, it's really been
advertise.
good, we changed our phone number, and they found, you know, I went from a 657 prefix to 665, and sons of bitch, they finally found it. You know, they just, you know, I don't know.
They never used to leave messages. I've got an answering machine at home, but boy, now they're leaving messages.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting cells. They're calling cells as well.
Oh, yeah. And they're leaving messages on them things. If I see a number I don't recognize, I don't usually answer it on my cell phone.
But you know, for initially they weren't getting those, or for surveys of even for ag things. I'm getting those on my cell phone now, and I don't. If I go to any of those farm shows, I don't.
Sign up.
No, I do not. But they're still good.
They're finding.
I'll make the motion to approve the bills on the listing for a total of $149,907.47.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the billing. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, all ayes, motion carries.
Some of the, like for the senatorial, there's really, some of those polls have it pretty even, and then like the register poll had Ernst ahead by 7 points. And so, you know, you wonder how reliable those are, but.
Yeah,
Well, the middle is big, you know, the Republicans and Democrats, but the independents are the middle. I think this is as big as ever, or undecided or uncommitted.
when it started, it was Bruce Braley's race to lose. I mean,
That's what I thought.
and as soon as he made that Grassley comment,
Yeah, he did it, he lost
I
it.
mean, he lost the election on that comment alone, I think.
I think,
But just to be seen, you know, in that format, you know, kind of a social situation with a bar in the background, and then you call, you know, one of our favorite senators kind of a dumb hick farmer that should be on the judiciary committee. And, you know, I really respect the legal profession, but, you know, a lot of people don't hold attorneys, you know, in higher regard than anybody else.
I think his support for the national health care thing hurt him a lot too. I received a political survey call, and I'm assuming that was from his organization. They don't identify themselves, but they were asking what I thought about the healthcare, national health care, and then they also asked what my opinion of the Clintons was. And so from my perspective, I thought maybe they were testing the water to see, first off, how people felt about the national health care, and then the second is, should he distance himself from them, or should he try and pull them in for support? And I don't know, but that's all my guess. But I really felt like that's probably what that was for. And that may be inaccurate, but that was what I felt at the time.
Yeah, I don't know about the national health care. I don't know if that's 50-50 or, you know, 60% of the people now are, they don't like the result of it. That's not.
Well, you know, not everybody, I don't think, knew that it was gonna keep going up.
Well,
Well, we learned a lot just from Tom Schutz.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
About the prices going.
And I don't
Yeah.
think that these people can afford it, you know, a lot of these people can't afford it.
We
Well,
had
like a union, you know, person, you know, they get a negotiated raise, and but you know, health insurance keeps going up, and Obamacare, and then, you know, their taxes are going up. I mean, I think a lot of people are realizing there's never been free lunch, and if more people are gonna get service or better service than they had before, somebody's gotta pay for it. And so the wage earner and the businessman to pay taxes.
I think there's a lot of things to be learned yet, and with Tom Schutz's information, that a lot of the significant stuff isn't coming until 15 to 18, and we had, I mean, this is public information. I'm not divulging anything I shouldn't, but we have had instances with our mental health folks that they're with one of these plans that the deductible and the copay is so high that quite often the first $10,000 isn't going to be taken care of. And so this individual said, well, what can I do? And he's working. I was very happy to hear that. And so okay, do I need to, am I going to have to go off my medication so I have a hospitalization so then I can go back and start getting my medication again? Now, there's something really wrong with that.
Backwards.
Yes. I mean, why not avoid the hospitalization and make some effort to see that he can maintain his medication? Everyone would be better off. But that's one example of and I think there's going to be a really large awakening in the next 6 to 12 months that a lot of the providers are going to figure out that first big copay and deductible isn't going to be collectible, and so that they may be worse off than they were before. So I mean that looking at from the outside looking in, that's one of the things that with some experience that I've come across that I think is significant, that I don't know if that's been thought of or not, and pretty quick. I think, and that would include pharmacies, hospitals, doctors, both MD and mental health and any kind of those providers may not see anything of the first $10,000. So.
So what's that mean? Prices go up by $10,000?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Because that's what I do.
That's a huge consideration that, you know, okay, now the first 10,000 were, and one on the other end of that, the catastrophic piece is a good thing. I mean, the huge claims for catastrophic consideration will be covered that might not have been covered before. But on the front end, if you don't have catastrophic, that's I think a lot of folks are going to be in worse shape.
You know, I said that, but
What's the-
I'm having some memory of, is there some sort of piece in place with that doesn't let them increase prices?
If, I would say that the insurance company is not going to allow the healthcare, they're only gonna pay so much for a particular procedure or something. So you're still not going to, you're not gonna be able, you can raise your rate all you want, but the insurance company's only gonna pay you X amount of dollars for a hernia operation.
Or the Medicare Medicaid piece as well. I mean, that would be, there's an approved rate for that.
So as a provider, the healthcare provider, you can raise your rates all you want. The insurance company's gonna tell you that this is how much you can charge for that. That's what they do already.
Mhm. And you know, the idea of having some coverage for catastrophic and consideration of existing, I mean, those are two positive things, but I think there are a lot more that are negative that are going to be significant as we move down the line. And in just running some quick numbers and discussion with our self-fund person, he was indicating, if I remember right, Jim, he indicated that we could possibly be paying $128,000 in excise tax to the federal government before we went out to try and get any kind of coverage. And that's not a cost because we don't have insurance. That's going to be a cost if we have insurance. And that's just by 2018. That's 3.5 years down the road.
I wonder if this winter the state is up for negotiating for their collective bargaining with the state employees.
Culver did that. Yeah, right before Branstad took
Yeah,
over, and that was probably a 3-year deal, don't you think?
No, Branstad made a deal after he was in office.
Oh, he has made one since
Because,
then?
you know,
Oh, that's
They didn't take a raise,
They
just-
they kept their insurance.
Health
That is
insurance.
right, you are right.
so when do we negotiate again?
Not
coming
this year, the following.
Not this December, but the next.
We're in year 2 of a 3, if I recall. So we have this year and one more under contract.
But they negotiated, no, they took no raise, but they let their insurance fly.
Mm-hmm. That is right, you're right.
Because we talked about that when we were negotiating, you know, that was part of the dialogue we had with, you know.
Mhm. Did you have one of these, Dean? Did you get rid of it?
Yeah. Hey, Sherry,
Sure, come on up.
You're
ready
waiting
for you.
for me patiently?
Rick will be right
Well, not real
back.
patient.
Oh, okay.
Sherry?
Hi. Get the information offline, how's that? Jeff Harry was gonna put in a shop, is what he called it.
Where's this
What are
located?
the issues?
It's,
Oh,
there, I went to one, levy one, right outside of Wall Lake,
That's
Oh.
in a ag,
urban transition.
urban.
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
between,
Where he lives, or,
Yeah, I think it's where he's living.
oh, it's Ken, you know where Dettermans live up there? Yeah. Okay. It's right on the north side of the wind tower, the wind generator, right? The Wall Lake wind generator?
I'd have to go out and look
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Okay.
Is there any, do you have any
No,
concerns?
No, I have no problem.
Good.
I guess I just, he says shop, so I just kind of wondered if it's just gonna be a shop or if it's ain't gonna be a business of any kind or anything, I don't know. I guess when he calls it a shop, I just gotta go with what he calls it.
I'm thinking it might be, he races cars,
Okay,
so I'm thinking it might be for his
race
car,
cards and
yeah.
stuff, okay.
This is what I'm thinking it'd be
Okay.
for.
Okay, I know that. He's got a nice home there, and this
Yeah.
is right behind his home.
Yep,
Okay.
and I sent a letter to, or the Wall Lake Council, I sent them the information first.
Mm-hmm.
And they're no came back and it says they had no comment. Which I thought was, okay. Yeah. The city council had no comments for this application.
Is it inside the city limits?
No, it's right, it falls
Be in the transition in the 2 mile.
so then the city's gotta say so, but
I'll make a motion to approve this application for that to build the building.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's made and seconded to approve Jeff Harry's permit for a shop. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All ayes, motion carries.
alrighty.
Thank you.
Thank you,
No
Sharon.
problem.
In a situation like just, for the septic permit, we'll try to hook onto his house. That's an acceptable practice, as long as
Yep.
you have capacity.
Yeah, and it's a legal system, so.
Sure.
I did look it up and I found his permit to go with his house
Okay.
and stuff,
What,
so,
where is it, section 1 of Levy?
yes.
So, sometimes, I guess I didn't know the answer to that.
Yeah, no, I've been allowing it and stuff, putting a,
Yeah.
not a
Which,
shop.
that's good, I mean, if they can and you have a good,
As
legal
long as they're
system.
not putting in the wash machine and a whole bunch of other, where you're gonna, and then I usually tell them, that's their issues if it's gonna be a heavy usage, but I mean, most of the time in a shop, it isn't gonna use very, very little.
yeah, yep, okay.
So-
Thank you, Sharon.
Yep. Oh, yours.
You got it warmed up?
You bet.
Hi, Ron.
Howdy. County crews, laying gravel roads, relaying road culverts on Carr Avenue north of 360th Street, placing riprap around inlet and outlet ends of a CMP on Dean Avenue south of 250th Street and on 170th Street west of Ira, repairing broken tile and right-of-way on 250th Street east of Quincy, mowing gravel road shoulders in Wheeler and Levy townships, reclaiming road shoulders at numerous areas on paved roads throughout the county, servicing and testing snowplow trucks. Project status, white topping project, they're placing limestone on the south shoulder going east, about a mile east of M35. Yesterday there was an accident involving a straight truck loaded with corn and a truck hauling rock for the shoulder project. He came over the hill and a truck and a pup was, I think, coming off of M35 and he tried to whip around him and tipped it over and spread corn all over the place. But didn't get any. I guess he didn't get hurt. Do you know anymore?
No, but I think what they were upset was he upset the truck. The corn was on the highway. Then the construction company ordered that corn bladed off the road. Well, then they used the vac to back the corn back up and then had all the rock in it. The elevator wouldn't take the corn down.
The construction company has the control of the roadway as long as they're,
Local traffic only.
Yeah, until the project's done.
that's what I thought.
And I guess he did get a ticket
Yep.
for, I don't know what.
Because the road is actually closed, so
Well, to local traffic, if he happened to be local traffic, how, is it open or is it not open?
It's open for local traffic. I think he got a ticket because he failed to maintain, maybe, I don't
yeah,
know.
failure to maintain control or something.
I think he popped over the hill and his truck was pulling off of M35 and he clipped his front corner. He pulled in the other lane trying to go around him and clipped his front of the truck and ruined the tire. And I guess I'm not sure what other damage it did to the truck, but then it looked like the truck must have tipped over before it left the roadway because part of the corn was on the north side of the road. I saw a picture that Ronnie had. Part of the corn was on the north side, but the truck ended up in the south ditch.
Then I had another phone call this morning from another farmer saying that if the road is closed, that his insurance is no good.
That I guess I can't
Well,
tell
it's
you.
Conwell Larson, so he's gotta come in, and then it's not a problem, but coming in from the west, but he's only got a half mile. But if the road's closed and one of his semis would have an accident, he'd have no insurance.
Possibly.
I would have him check with his insurance company to verify that.
But his question was, if they have the sides done and the road painted, can they open the road so he can be legal?
Oh,
Open it from 59 west.
It's 39 west.
I mean 39.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, they haven't got,
They're not quite to 39.
yeah, they aren't quite to 39 yet, but
But maybe you could suggest that that when they get there, that they could open it that
Change the
far.
sign.
I think they've got the center line markings partially done. The day I was out there, they had a section in there they'd skipped, they hadn't come back and redid yet. I guess I didn't ask Ronnie whether they had come back and done the center line markings. The edge markings, I don't think they've done any of them yet. But why don't you, if he could check with his insurance company, let me know what they tell him. I would think as long as he lived on that road and needed to use that road to get to where he needed to be, I would think his insurance would still be good. But I guess I don't. I could see if he was just having to be somebody going through from one place to another,
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
and didn't have any reason to be on that road.
I mean, they gotta go on that road to get to the bin site.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But would you ask the construction company if they get that 4 miles?
See if they could
done?
open that west section.
Yeah. I'll make sure he calls his insurance company, but he was told that it probably isn't good, so.
And I've heard different stories on that over the years too, that sometimes insurance companies say, no, they aren't gonna pay, and other times they do. So I think it depends on the insurance company somewhat.
And really, even if they got that first mile opened up, so,
It'd make really good sense if they could get to 39.
yeah, and
then
do
you
4
get
miles
to
at a
another hard
time,
road.
yeah.
Yeah. We would not change our detour. Our detour would still send them clear,
Yep.
because we won't change that till it's done and we can pull all the signs.
When is their due date? Is that their,
Time-wise, I think they got lots of days left.
They do.
Haven't checked what they've got left for days. Because I know we had the discussion earlier that if they didn't get the painting done, and they had to shut it down for winter, whether they would have days next spring to come back and paint it. So I know they had like 60 days when they started, and they didn't start till,
August 25th, or is the day they closed the road.
yeah, yeah. So 60 days would be 12 weeks. If 60 days are right, I'd have to double check on that too.
It sounds like.
I think that was right, but I will check with Tom Bonner and see whether they would open that west of Highway 39 when they got it done. Otherwise, I think time-wise, well, they're having real trouble getting trucks to haul rock. And of course, they lost one yesterday. I don't know whose truck it was. I didn't ask him whose truck. But I know Fort Dodge Asphalt has been hauling for them, and who else? Seems to me there are a couple other companies that they've been getting trucks to haul material for them, but it's just slow going. And if they don't get any more trucks than what they've been getting now, it's going to be a couple of weeks yet before they get the shouldering done. So, item 3 there, got a resolution setting the date and time for a road vacation hearing. This is for a road between sections 32 Jackson and 6 of Wall Lake, requested by Lynn Garles. There's a closed bridge on that mile. Map-wise, it's a dirt road. That bridge has been closed for, I didn't even look back. I would say it's been closed for.
Are we trying to close from both directions or just?
Lynn's request initially, Lynn owns on both sides of the road on the east of the bridge. What's shaded here is what Lynn owns. He's got the whole north side, and then he's got the south side up to the bridge. And then Gene Schrum, mother, or wife, somebody, has the south side west of the bridge. Lynn had originally asked for the
That's what I was
part
thinking.
east, but I called and talked to him, and Mike had already talked to him earlier about the idea that we'd close the full mile. We can always close, at the hearing, we can always close less than we advertise, we can't close more. But in talking to Lynn this morning, and he's talked to Gene, they both seem, at least according to Lynn, they both seem agreeable to closing. They would, they apparently, there's a hill here, and it comes down a fairly steep grade, and typically, when we close the road, we'll first of all, we got to either sell the bridge or take it out. I talked to Lynn about that this morning. He's got some interest in buying the bridge for $1. They'd use it to take his pumping hose across, so when he pumps on the other side. So I told him I'd send him some of the agreements we've had on other locations, and then typically when we close a road, we will obliterate the road bed, and he said they would probably request that they leave the westerly 300 to 400 feet road bed there, because they both sort of use that as a driveway into that field. So, I told him we'd advertise the full mile. We could always do less if some issue came up, but at this point it sounds like they're agreeable to vacate the whole
That's
thing.
good.
I'll make a motion to adopt this resolution setting the date and time for the road vacation hearing.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to set the date for a road vacating hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Stock eye.
Drake, aye. All ayes, motion carries.
If you want to sign one of them, and if Jim wants to sign one,
Yeah, I'll need to.
then I'll have to get a resolution number from you, Jim, when you. The date that I'd picked was was November 18th, which is 2 weeks from today, so we'll get it in the paper, so it's in the paper next week. Lynn would like to try to get that leveled off and before winter. There is a REC pole line down there. I guess he had talked to Mike about that, and Mike talked to Mitch McKeever, and that is one of those lines that FEMA just paid or helped pay for, and in fact they haven't got the third payment on it yet. So according to Mitch, even if they wanted to move the Powell line to the section line, because of the FEMA money, they can't do anything with that for 3 years or something. 3 years after the last payment or something, so.
I guess that doesn't surprise me.
No, but Lynn sounded like he maybe would work something out with Shrum that he'd rent that 33 foot on the north side of the pole line, because the pole's on the south side apparently. And maybe he would just rent that 33 foot from him rather than him trying to go around the poles, but that's whatever they want to work out between them, I guess.
Yep.
Item 4 there, we did get the initial report from Calhoun and Burns on our bridge inspection, and it required reduced posting on 7 bridges. There was no bridges that needed to be closed. But of the 7 of them, there was 2 of them that went down to a 6-ton posting.
Do you recall where those 2 are?
One of them's bridge in Sac Township, section 9. It's that wooden bridge over the railroad that we talked about trying to.
That was the next question. Have you heard from them again?
We have not. We need to talk to the landowner on the north side to see whether they would sell right away up along there to bring the road up and tee into the other road and eliminate the bridge, and we have not visited with that. I think there's a number of landowners. There's a number of owners of that piece of land, so there'd be a number of people to contact and talk to about that. The other bridge is in Cook Township, section 33. It'd be, in fact, it would be from the Prairie Peddler. It'd be a mile west and about half a mile south. It's on a north-south road.
You say a mile west?
Yeah. Yep. It'd be a mile east of M35. The house mover moved that house. I assume we got it moved in for.
Prairie Peddler.
Yeah, for Prairie Peddler, and we had an issue trying to route him around and get him there last week with the.
What they put there, you know?
There was a house up on Highway 20, west of Holstein, that sat on the south side, up on blocks.
West of
And
right on the corner?
yeah, and it sat there for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Unblocked.
And they bought that house and they moved it down to Prairie Peddler lot, or Prairie Peddler.
What are we gonna do with it?
Jack Hoag's daughter and son-in-law are gonna fix it up and move in.
I knew they were coming back.
Yeah,
Huh.
that'd be a lot of work. I mean, that house, sat empty for that long. And
I think the permit said it was coming from. Did it say Holstein? I can't remember.
Well, it's
I didn't pay any attention to where it was coming from, but it was
that's
coming
where
in.
it's at. It's right west of Holstein.
It was coming right down that road, but then there was a bridge on the road that had a load limit on, and when we had Calhoun and Burns check, they didn't pour piling under the bridge, and so we had to route them 2 miles north, mile over and mile back down to get them to where they wanted to go. But yeah,
That was a big house to move.
yeah, 40 feet wide and 35 foot tall, so we had
Oh, wow.
to have power company there taking wires down as he came through, so
What does that cost to have?
I don't have any idea.
Can't be
I mean, the
good.
permit's $10,
Yeah, but I mean to have them
The electrical pieces.
but it,
pull.
but,
When we moved that house, we had to post whatever the wages and the use of the truck were for a day. And then whatever time they didn't use in that day, they refund.
So that wasn't so bad then.
Not
I
really.
thought it might be worse.
I did too, but I mean, it's, I guess it's all in the days, and we had Mid-American and REC both.
Oh, maybe it wasn't so bad then. I thought that might be
Yeah.
terrible.
And we had to negotiate that huge mess right there in front of the hospital too, you know, that great big transformer and all that stuff.
Huh.
last
That
time,
was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
last time there, Herculift has repaired our 20-year-old forklift that was involved in the accident in our shop in June. Mike would like to trade our forklift for the Komatsu FG30 HT that we've been using since the accident. Trade cost would be about $23,000 to trade and get rid of that.
He called me, and I called both of these guys, and
Give us a heads up. You know, it wasn't any fault of the machine, you know, but if that's an issue.
I think some of the people that were, you know, involved or there that day, I mean, Herculift has even told Mike that if we do the trade, we've got about I can't remember, a $1,500 bill, I think, in repairs that they would consider as part of the trade, so we wouldn't have to pay that. But they were telling him that they would ship the thing out of state,
Really?
that they wouldn't even try to sell it here, they'd send it someplace else. Kent Peterman, who's the other one that, you know, had been working on that left before, said he wouldn't work on it again if we kept it. Because he was friends with the guy that got killed, you know, so.
He has available budget money for this purpose.
Yeah, with what we bought, we are still under budget. We'd had included a motor grader in our original numbers. But with this and we've also been having some trouble with that, I shouldn't say trouble, but several repair bills on that John Deere track skid loader we use. And Mike has been doing some initial looking at maybe trying to trade that off, and it just nickel and diming us on that
How many
track.
hours on the machine?
I don't know, I'd have to check. But if we did that, then we wouldn't have any money to do anything as far as a motor grader till after July 1st. So, well, even if we don't do that, we probably wouldn't be able to swing a motor grader this year unless they give us some kind of a delayed payment, you know, so.
Okay.
thanks, Ron.
Good day.
Next week, the meeting's on Monday,
Morning, right?
Monday morning.
Okay. Calhoun's is in the afternoon, so I'll be here.
I'm gonna write that down.
We're closed Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Ron.
We have it at 10 o'clock, same time.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless, well,
I'm good with that.
I'm good.
Just consistent.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All ayes, motion carries.
Good luck with the rest of the day, Jim.
Yeah.
yeah.